My name is Louis Swan and I work in the fire damage space. This is a video on, how a well-documented inventory can truly change a homeowner's outcome after a fire, and how a poor one can quietly cost them thousands of dollars. So let's dig right in. So let's start with why this matters so much. So your personal property claim is only as strong as your documentation. So if you can prove you own something and establish its value, your insurance company has to account for it. If you can't prove it, it doesn't exist in the eyes of your claim. The average household contains tens of thousands of dollars in personal property. Most homeowners recover a fraction of that. And not because their policy doesn't cover it, but because they didn't document it properly. As you can see on this slide, this is one of the highest leverage items you can do in your entire recovery process. Before you start your inventory, you need to understand how your items are going to be valued because it changes your strategy. So ACV, actual cash value, means your insurance company pays what your item was worth at the time of the fire. A couch you paid $2,000 for 5 years ago might be valued at $800 today after depreciation. RCV, replacement cost value, means they pay what it costs to buy a comparable item brand new today. That same couch might be $2,200 at current prices. As you can see on this slide, if you have RCV coverage, your inventory strategy changes. You want to find current retail prices for comparable items, not just what you paid years ago. If you have ACV coverage, documentation of original purchase price and purchase date becomes critical to disputing aggressive depreciation. Pull out your policy and find out which one you have before you start. A quick but important note before we get into the process. Do not enter a fire damage structure without clearance that it's structurally safe. Your fire marshal or a local structural engineer that you're working with can confirm this. When you do enter, wear a respirator, not just a dust mask. Wear gloves, limit your time inside, bring a charged phone and a flashlight. Your documentation truly matters, but obviously not more than your safety. The biggest mistake people make with inventory is starting without a system. They walk through the house, write down whatever they see, and miss half of what they owned. The room by room approach solves this. So start at the front door, walk and work through the house in one direction. Complete each room fully before moving on to the next. This includes closets, storage areas, and built-in shelving. For each room, do a walkthrough video first. Narrate everything you see out loud, then go back and document individual items. This two-pass approach catches things a single pass misses. As you can see on this slide, systematic beats, thorough every time when you're working in a stressed state. For each item in your inventory, you want to capture as much as possible. So description, what the item is, brand, model, if you know, quantity, how many of this item you had, age and condition, approximately when you bought it, original purchase price, what you paid for it, current replacement cost, what a comparable item costs today, serial number for electronics and appliances especially, proof of ownership, so receipts, credit card statements, warranties, photos from before the fire, even social media photos that show items in your home. You won't have, all of this for every item. That's okay. Document what you can. A partial record is always better than no record. So, as you can see on this slide, the more of the field you complete, the harder it is for an adjuster to dispute the item or aggressively depreciate it, as I mentioned earlier. You don't need anything fancy to do all of this. So some tools I recommend are your phone, for video walkthrough and photos. This is obviously your most important tool. A spreadsheet, so Google Sheets or Excel, you can create columns for each field. We just covered there are free templates specifically designed for insurance inventories. Search home inventory and spreadsheet insurance and you'll find a ton. Home inventory apps. So there's apps like, InCircle or, Ilvent Inventory, which are designed specifically for this process. And you can sync photos directly to item records. Bank statements and credit card statements, go back 3 to 5 years of statements, and you'll be surprised at how many purchases you can document this way. Email receipts. So search your email inbox for order confirmations, Amazon, Target, or any online realtor. Those receipts are sitting in your inbox right now. You probably haven't deleted them in years. And some common mistakes that are made. So throwing away things too soon. Do not discard damaged items until your adjuster has seen them and your claim is settled. Discarding items can be used to dispute your claim. Forgetting non-obvious items. So people remember furniture and electronics, but they forget clothing, shoes, linens, pantry food, cleaning supplies, tools in the garage, items in storage, holiday decorations, and even children's toys. So underestimating quantity is also a big one. Like, you likely owned more than you think. Most households have 50 to 100 items of personal clothing per person. Dozens of kitchen items. Go category by category and think as carefully as possible. Not documenting undamaged items in affected rooms. Even items that look fine may have smoke or soot damage that becomes apparent later. Document everything in every affected room. Accepting, the first adjuster valuation without review is also another one. So your adjuster's initial evaluation is the starting point. You have the right to dispute individual items with your own documentation. So as I mentioned, the personal property inventory is one of the most important things you'll do in the entire recovery process, and it's one that's often overlooked. So take your time, be systematic, document more than you think you need, and don't discard anything before your claim is settled. As always, if you want to talk through any of this or your claim, please reach out to us on our websites that you'll see in my bio, and I have a link there as well that you can book time. I hope you were paying attention, and if you were paying attention, you'll see that I tried to play a trick on you all, and I was actually ahead with where I went over and what slide I went over and what I was actually saying. I want to see if you guys are paying attention, and I'm trying something new here, so hopefully it wasn't too confusing. You were able to take notes, but if you're going through a fire, truly wishing you the best. More content coming out on this. We work with homeowners every day. We work with over 50 homeowners a year and help them to recover, educate them, and options on what to do after they've experienced the fire. So hopefully this was helpful. Best of luck. Talk to you soon.